Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another amazing episode here on the Wisdom Rising podcast. I'm your host for today and for the last time, Isabel Wells, and I'm really honored to be sharing today's episode as my final episode here on the Wisdom Rising podcast as your Moon Rising Alchemist. I have made the intuition and heart-led decision to step away from Moon Rising into my own journey to follow my intuition. If you're curious about that transition and what inspired it, you can check out last week's podcast episode where Chantel and I dive deep into the what's, whys, and whens. But for today's episode, I'm stepping into ceremony with Christine and Chantel for the last time, holding space for each other, reminiscing on our time together in Moon Rising, holding space for the beautiful transformation and transition that this holds, as well as receiving a really beautiful and insightful card reading from Chantel, and closing out our sacred circle, closing out our directions for the last time as a group. So today's episode is a really sacred and really beautiful episode, and I'm so excited to get to share it with you. And I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to you as a listener, as a viewer, for holding space for me to hold space for you over the last 6 years that I've worked with Moon Rising. It has been such a joy to witness your transformation, my transformation, and share in the energy of this incredible community and the incredible things that we hold space for and teach here at Moon Rising and what was once Reiki Cafe University. Of course, I'm not going away permanently. I'll still be in the Moon Rising Shamanic Mystics Facebook group to support you all. I may appear on the podcast in the future. And of course, Chantel and Christine's connection with me and our friendship are still strong, as you'll hear in today's episode. We're just stepping into a new phase of life. Just like Earth is stepping into a new season, so are we. And we're sharing a little bit more about that in today's episode. And I'm just really grateful for the space that we've held, the time that we've had, and I hope that this episode brings you the same closure and the same joy and gratitude and reminiscence and excitement for the future that it brought to the three of us. And of course, if you want to continue to follow what I'm doing next and to step with me on this next phase of my journey, I would love for you to join me. You can find me over at gatewayhouseofhealing.com. Right now, you'll see a coming soon page, depending on when you're listening to this podcast, with a link to join my newsletter. I highly encourage you to join that because that's where I'll be sharing some of the really exciting updates and things I've been working on behind the scenes very soon, from podcasts to Substacks to courses and more. And of course, all of my social media links are on there as well. So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok now at isabel.gatewayhoh. And like I said, if you visit gatewayhouseofhealing.com, you'll be able to find us there. I also have a new private Facebook group that you can join to step deeper into this community and stay connected with me and what I'm doing. All of the links will be in the show notes below, and I would be honored to witness you on your journey as you witness me on mine and on what this next phase is going to bring. But I hope that today's episode fills you with love and gratitude and excitement for what's coming next, and an invitation to keep walking with all of us, myself, Christine, and Chantel, as we move into this next phase. And for all of you who've listened to me over the years and learned something and shared and allowed me to ramble about the things that I'm passionate about, thank you for holding space for me to share and be witnessed and hold space for you in return. And I hope you enjoy this final episode, and I hope to meet with you again soon in the future. So much love, and without further ado, let's dive in to my final episode. Beautiful. Welcome, welcome, everybody. We are here for my final Whispers of Wisdom, which is kind of crazy to say, but we've been in sacred ceremony as a team for the last hour, so we're staying in that really lovely, calm, reflective, celebratory energy for today's conversation. But as we give everybody a few minutes to come on in, we would love to know, as we usually do, where you're watching from, what you're drinking. If you have anything that you are celebrating or in ceremony for today, we would love to hear it as well. If you guys missed last week's podcast or haven't heard, I'll be transitioning from Moon Rising at the end of the week if you want to learn more about the inspiration for that decision and how it's all unfolded, I really do encourage you to check out last week's podcast where Chantel and I dive in really deep to the what's and how's and whys. But today we're really just sitting in ceremony with each other, reflecting on our time together as a team, but also my time with the community and just the incredible transformations and experiences that we've had together over the last 3 years with Chantel, 5 to 6 years with Christine and I, and just really holding ceremony and space for what I've been calling kind of the end of an era, you guys.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. It does definitely feel like that. And know that as we come on, we have been in our own team meeting, ceremonial space to, I feel like, to say yes to ourselves, our sovereignty, our clarity, our joy, our knowing that we are here in celebration and joy and ceremony with all of you for this time that we get to conclude that era. And so yeah, there's a lot of emotions, and definitely there's grief weaved into that because this isn't something that any of us will take lightly. This is a huge shift. And so we want to share that and all of our authenticity of that with you. So
yeah, this is a beautiful container that we have created here today. And although we are, saying goodbye today for now, but know that the friendships run deep and that we're all still here for each other and to support each other and for the community to really be able to honor you and to hopefully even I would like to put in our Facebook group too is memories that they can also a place that they can say, oh, yes, this is how she impacted me. These are things I've learned. What are their aha moments of you? And know that there are many. There are many, and that we've all grown because of knowing each other, but definitely because you have been here and that your spark, it ignites ours. So I definitely honor you and your journey forward.
yeah, absolutely. It's been it's been a trip, you guys. Like from the very beginning when I was just like really overwhelmed with the amount of work of putting together what was once Reiki Cafe University and going, please, universe, if this is meant for me, bring me the person. And literally within 24 hours, I got a DM from Isabel and I never had interacted with her before. And I was just like, oh, that was easy, and just letting the right timing and the divine calling and all of these things lead to where we are. And I just remember that it was easy then. It was like, okay, I can trust this. I can trust this and watch her skill sets just completely take their full fruition and form. And like, I was like, I want to do a podcast. She's like, oh yeah, I've done those before. I want to do this. And she's like, oh yeah, I've done some of that before. And just watch that all unfold in the true form of an alchemist and so much more than that. Like I feel like we have given ourselves these titles, Chantel being our mystic and Isabel being our alchemist and myself being the visionary, and that's just like one archetype of the many that we hold, right? And so I just want to welcome in the dynamicness of all of us, of going, yes, Isabel's been our alchemist, but she has been so much more than that. She has been a freaking amazing teacher and coach. And I know she has not only pulled me personally out of dark places and spaces, but so many of our students. And I just want everyone to know how much she has honored and transformed everything that we have created and touched here through Reiki Cafe University and Moon Rising Shamanic Institute. Like we would not be where we are without the fullness of her energy beyond the alchemist. So I really truly honor all of the wisdom, all of the gifts, all of the ways that you show up in the world and how you have shared that with us and on our team and in our spaces and in our community. Like it's been really beautiful. I'm really grateful.
Thank you.
I have to say on my part, and I know in our ceremony I even said it about like your patience to be able to help people with tech issues, like especially for me when I'm like, hey, I don't know how to do this, I can't do that. And there's been times where I'm like waiting for you to come back, like, oh my God, Chantel, and you never have. You've always just been like, okay, I got that. Let me send this your way. And I have to say, I really do appreciate that because, you know, a more resistant heart would be coming back at somebody and in a way that would make them feel small, and you never did. And so, I know that may seem small, but here in a world that is all online, that, I never really embraced, I mean, it's just not a part of like the generation of what I grew up with it being introduced, not like you guys come in, a different generation comes in with it already, you're online, and I had to be plugged in. And I appreciate you plugging me in because I needed it. And I still have a lot to go, but I know I can always reach out to you and be like, hey, help me here.
I got your back, girl.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that this is ending on that note. And I don't even want to say ending, but that the transition is there on that. That there is no ill will, there's no animosity, there's no nothing. And I know I've had some people like, what's going on? I'm like, nothing. She's growing, she's doing her thing, and I love that. And so, I want everyone to hear that this is such a good thing, and we all get to witness it and to journey with you in a different way.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny you bring that up because I was thinking back to, like Christine was saying, the very, very beginning where we didn't even know you yet, Chantel, and I just had this intuitive nudge of, hey, you know what you need to do? You need to message this random woman on the internet that you've never seen before and see if she needs help. And she did, and it was the start of we're almost past, no, we are past, we're past 5.5 years. So if we round up, we can say 6 years. It's been, 6 years of our lives that have been molded and shaped by that intuitive nudge to just message somebody for no apparent reason. And this has that same feeling to me, that same intuitive nudge of, hey, there's this thing that you need to do that it might not make sense, you know? Message a woman you've never met on the internet, but look where it brought us, and look at how much was born out of following that intuitive impulse. And it really does have that same feeling of there's so much waiting for not just me, but for all of us on the other side of this transition. And I know that we've all been feeling it this year, all of the transitions that we've had in our personal lives. And Lord knows this eclipse season took all three of us gave us a run for our money. And through that, it has been so beautiful to watch how we've all continued to lean on each other and process with each other and work with each other and rely on each other's gifts, like Christine was saying, and hold space for each of us to be the fullest expression of who we are, and that extends even into holding space for when it's time to transition into something new. We're right there for each other and holding space and leaning into the curiosity of what comes next while acknowledging the grief of, what we're losing in that transition and all of the incredible memories that have come over the last 6 years. And so it really is, I have to say, it's been a really beautiful process of just witnessing every single emotion that has come with this transition and with this new season of life that's coming. It's I think that's something that we don't talk about very much, is how these intuitive nudges oftentimes, they ring us out a little bit. They bring up every possible emotion and all of our connections, and they call us to rely on each other and to stand in our community more. And I really love that we've gotten to do that in a way that's not only so true to the three of us, but also in a way that our community can see, so we can really bring forward that energy of what a beautiful team we've been and what a beautiful thing we've created, and the energy and the love that we have for each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like we definitely, I just recognize when spirit gives me a calling, like sometimes it's not this instant, like, okay, I'm going to go do the thing. Like oftentimes when divine inspiration hits me, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, right. Like I want to fight about it. I want to drag my feet. I want to like bitch and complain a little bit and be like, all right, fine. And that's okay. Like everyone can be in their own process of what that looks like for them. And I know that even this last spring at the beginning of the year, like I was like, oh, I'm supposed to do in-person stuff again. Like, I don't really want to do that. And then I like started like, oh yeah, I do love this too. Like, fine, okay, right. And so like it's all of these different spaces where we get to recognize our authentic selves and our own authentic process and how we want to show up, and continuing to say yes to our evolution and to our growth and to our own personal development, and recognizing those places and spaces within ourselves that might feel sticky, and go, okay, I've got something to recognize in all of this, and be okay with communicating about it and being where you're at, and still seeking that space for, I can be compassionate with myself and I can be compassionate with others, and I can love the process, even though it might not feel, doesn't always feel good, right? But that doesn't mean that we are not loving on one each other, that like it's hard sometimes when I'm in my own like struggle with my spirit guides. Like I think that's, I don't know if that's a unique experience, but when I'm like, they're telling me to go down this path and I'm like, I don't want to. And I love that, like Isabel, like she got the call, and like it's such a different reaction. You're like, I always see you get like that divine inspiration, and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this nervous system series. And I'm like, cool. And there's not this big like fight about it. And I'm always fighting with my like next call. I'm like, really? Okay. And so I want to honor that in you, that like it's so much, it seems to be, and maybe I'm wrong, but it seems to be so much easier for you to say yes to your path, your direction. And I just love that. And I love that everyone gets to be themselves in it.
Yeah. And it's like I said, it's been really beautiful to watch that stage of completion. Especially I'm loving the symbolism of the fact that this is happening right after we stepped into fall in, Earth time, because it really does just feel like this. Everybody knows from my stories that I've shared about what's happened in my life. There are so many times where transitions that have happened in my life I've not been ready for. They've just kind of blindsided me and felt like, if you follow numerology, that they caught me at the 5 instead of the 9, and I feel like this is a journey that I've really gotten to see all the way through to that 9, and being able to, even at our ceremony today when Chantal was doing our team ceremony, it's ended right at 9:09 her time, and just the beautiful symbolism of being able to see something to completion. And it certainly wasn't the completion that my mind thought it was going to be, but my soul has just been so clear in what's coming, and I've been so grateful to be able to watch it unfold over the course of the year. There's just been so many little signs and nudges and conversations and just everything leading us to this point where it just feels like a really natural conclusion and a really natural time for this transformation to take place. And I'm really just so, I have to say, I'm so incredibly grateful for you guys, for the two of you, for the space that you hold. I'm grateful for our community, for our students, for letting me teach and share and have my little soapbox moments and getting to engage with the energy and really explore and express who I am as a teacher and as a leader and as a guide and all of these things. And it's absolutely true to say that I would not be the person that I am today if I hadn't had the last 6 years to shape me and my energy and the way that I see things and the way that I show up and have a space where even when my life was really hard, a lot of times over the last 6 years, I had a space where I was called to show up and stand in my highest light. And, the camera comes on and I'm that teacher and I'm that guide and having that space where I could not escape to, but come to be reminded of who I truly am was such a blessing. And I'm really grateful that I've had that anchor to hold on to when I needed it over the last 6 years.
Mhm.
I love that. I love that you were able to create a space. I mean, I know energetically and collectively the three of us have, but that for yourself, you had that space that you could come to and know that it was going to anchor you in. It was going to remind you of who you are because we can get lost in our stuff and our emotions and our trauma moments and want to just like run away. But instead, you've always just shown up. And you were always very clear when you're like, I just need me time for a minute. But you would always come still. Like, what do you need before I take my me time? Do you guys need anything before I like take the next day off or a couple of days off? And be like, no, go do you. And I have always seen that in you is that you always want to make sure that everyone around you is taken care of, even if it means you're taking care of them before you're putting yourself first. And I see that you're putting yourself first. And that's beautiful because it takes a long time for a lot of people to understand what that means to put yourself first. And I just see this as a great invitation for our community to recognize that and to know that you can put yourself first sometimes. And it doesn't mean it's because you're leaving with a hardened heart. It just means like, there's just something else out there too to go explore and to be curious about and to go learn from. And other teachers and mentors are going to cross your path and you're going to cross theirs. And there's just so much that's going to come forward. And this has also been an opening, a catalyst for the three of us to venture off on, even though I'm staying and Christine's staying, we're here, but that in our own way, we're also walking a different journey, and so it's beautiful. And I don't know, like I keep saying, I see a meeting point in the future at some point, and whatever that becomes, it becomes. But I invite that. I'm open to that, however that is. And even if it's just being a guest on your podcast or you coming back and visiting us on ours, like I just see that. It's no longer entangled, but definitely standing in our sovereign power with each other. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I had our retreat host send me a video yesterday via text about from like a memories from her phone. And I had to post it yesterday because it just went to show like just a beautiful highlighted moment of when all of our energies were together and we were making magic and everything felt like it was such in this beautiful flow state. Like it was so easy. It was the easiest retreat I've ever put on. And it was the magic between the three of us, and I posted it and I was like, I could see us coming back together to do something like this again at some point. Not that there's any pressure to, but also like I recognize that there is this magic of when we can come together and play together and know that we can all stand in our authentic truth and sovereignty and expression and whatever we are creating in our lives, that this can be that there's going to be places and spaces where the weavings might come back and that would be welcome, you know.
Absolutely. And I have to say, I really am so excited. Like I keep just getting the little happy like jitters to see what happens with moon rising from here. It really was so hard to Christine's point about my intuition, it was really hard to come around to the fact that like, moon rising is we just celebrated our first anniversary, but I've been working behind the scenes on making it happen for 2 years and of course Reiki Cafe before that. But there's such a big piece of who I am and such a big piece of my heart in moon rising. And it did take a minute to recognize that, okay, it's not meant to be mine anymore. And but I do have to say that I'm just so excited to see where you guys take it from here. Like I'm so excited to still be in the Facebook group and be an avid podcast listener and really just watch what happens next because I can just feel that energy of excitement and new beginnings and this space opening up for something new. And I think just as much as everybody else is kind of sitting on the edge of their chairs wondering what's going to happen next, I really am too. And I'm really excited to see the kinds of magic that you guys have in store for what was our community and is now going to be your community and just holding space for your gifts to come through and your teachings to come through and seeing what you're going to fill the space with. I'm really excited to see what happens next.
I remember when I finished what was SRPT back then, um, and then Christine called and left me a message saying that she wanted to asked me to be her apprentice. And then I think I had to do some form of meeting or something with you, Isabel. And then you're like, I told Christine, like, I really think you need to call Chantel. And I remember just feeling in the moment, like the excitement of it. But at that point, it was like, really me? Because, it was just, it's all of that starts unfolding and who I think we see ourselves as, and then when you get to see your reflection in someone else, it's like, wow, it's like coming back to we are the mirrors of each other. And so when you can see your own reflection in somebody else and through somebody else, it's so beautiful. And so I love who I see in you too and what our community has become and how we do show up. And so it's just knowing that those mirrors are just going to reflect a little further out. But yeah, it's still there. It's still there. It's like even right now, I'm like seeing these like three mountains in this reflection, and I'm like, all right, I'll see you in the distance. We're always going to be right there. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, there's definitely this piece of I don't foresee moon rising going anywhere, where it's still going to be this stable space of our group and our courses and all of the things that we provide. And I just can't wait to see how Gateway, Isabel's new company, unfolds and becomes its own beautiful source of wisdom provided for her own community and sprinkled into ours. And like I just love that this is done in such a way of honoring, like right now I'm looking at the chat box of going, oh no, such a change for you all. And it's like, this isn't an oh no, this is a moment of celebrating exactly who we are and allowing people to change and evolve into who they're meant to be. Right. So this is a yes, go please. If this is what your calling is, be all of who you are in all the ways that you want to be in all the places that you want to be. And it's not that we're not going to miss those pieces or that energy that Isabel brings to the table, but we also don't want to stagnate or suppress or any of those things of her full potential and where she's being called by the divine, and so I'm going to honor those nearly 6 years of time together and go, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm in such a space of gratitude and honoring that I want to see the new evolved version of Isabel as she steps into Gateway.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And it really is also part of why I was so gung-ho on making that change and transition is because we all need somebody to look to
Mhm.
for, and I don't want to say that we need the permission, but our minds like to have someone
Yes.
that we can look to and say, look, they did it. They made the decision. They followed their intuition. They stepped into the highest version of themselves. And the three of us have always been that for our community. That's always been the value that we hold, is showing up as our truest selves and staying true to what's most aligned. And Lord knows we've made so many pivots over time because it's what needed to happen to stay in alignment, and different courses we've created and different ways that we've shown up and different podcast ideas. And there's so much that we have done to stay in true alignment to who we are, and but knowing that we're staying in that truest and highest alignment with who we are, not just for ourselves, but also what's in the best and highest alignment for moon rising. And it's like it would be doing a disservice to not follow and continue to stay in that alignment and continue to trust that intuition, even if it takes me or us or any of it somewhere else. And it's like I know that if that nudge, if that message had come through for Christine or Chantel, they would have done the same thing because of that commitment to staying in alignment and honoring our highest and most authentic selves. And I almost hate saying authentic self because it's kind of become a buzzword lately, but like that just fullest expression of knowing that you're allowed to show up however you're going to show up. And life is way too short to put yourself in a situation that doesn't feel aligned. And just because a situation doesn't feel aligned doesn't mean that it was bad. You know what I mean? It's not like there's a transition because something was an oh no, like Christine said. It's just that sometimes your alignment shifts. And because we're so committed to that, that's the choice that we're making, is to continue following that alignment and making space for moon rising to continue to be the greatest and highest that it can be, as I'm stepping into making Gateway the greatest and highest that it can be, and following those intuitive nudges and divine messages, and letting go of that mental control so that our souls can surprise and delight us along the way to whatever's coming next.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really brings true of what it means to release what no longer serves. Recently I had a conversation with someone and they were saying, I don't like that because that means I'm releasing this, and that, and all the positive and the good, the bad. And I go, no, what you're releasing, I go, you have to pay attention to what no longer serves. Because if you are holding on to what no longer serves, and you can't truly stand in your authentic self, your alignment of self, because you're holding on too much, and it's time to let it go. And honestly, energetically, we're energy beings. We would all tune into the energy of you not wanting to be here because you feel that pull to go somewhere else. So it's a wonderful way to be able to shift and pivot out in your own terms without the universe coming back and saying, hey, you've already received how many nudges and you're not listening. So now we got to like throw the stone at you. Instead, you're like, no, I'm going to pay attention and I'm going to listen. And that's what this work is all about, is for us to be able to witness each other when we are receiving those nudges. And when it is time to shift, pivot, whatever it is, that we can do that. And we can do it with grace, and we can do it in honoring of what is being left as well as what's being gained.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's definitely a place and space of this dance that we're doing with the divine, with the universe, with the earth source energy, and going, where am I meant to be in this moment? Where am I meant to be in this time? Where can I shine my truth? Where can I shine my love, my compassion, my purpose? And we each get to say yes to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. We're all saying yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, Chantal, is it time for a reading?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Let me see what I want to pull. So this reading is with the intention of what and how we are moving forward, what's to come in a positive light for us each, as well as moon rising, for a gateway, for our community. Oh, right off the bat, we got soul retrieval.
Mhm.
So we are calling ourselves back home. And if I stopped right there, that would be enough. Because
You're like, that's done. One card, we're good.
one card, we're standing like how she is looking at the light moving forward, and calling herself home. That is what this is about. Let's see what else is coming forward. As we are moving forward in our journey, yeah, that golden light, the rays that are going to shine from each one of us, from our businesses, like this is so heartfelt. And knowing that that golden light is shining through us, from us, and that comes from that soul retrieval because we're paying attention to the nudges. We're walking, we're walking the journey of spirit. Yeah, and this life force, and as that snake is weaving its way, it's Kundalini, the life force that is truly connecting, and the energy within the heart space, and as it's moving its way up into the crown chakra. So we are shifting from what is seen, the surface of everything, to what is unknown, unseen. And I love that. So there's so much that's coming forward for us, um, each of us, to witness what is to be exposed, to be opened, gifts that will start to reveal themselves, deeper aspects of ourself as well. Oh, interesting. So as I'm pulling this, I'm also seeing the mystic, the visionary, the alchemist. So
Mhm.
that's interesting how that just showed itself. Like, yeah, the weaving of the light, okay. So access clear thinking, and this is where we are, and how she holds that ball of yarn, and we can unweave it and follow the threads that are calling us forward. One, new beginnings. Yes. Being able to pivot where we need to pivot. Love it. Transformation coming forward, stepping into the unknown. So that's all just beautiful messages. Listening to your guardian angel. Let's see what else we have. The cycle breaker. There you go, Isabel. That's you, the cycle breaker. So you'll get through it. The cycle is ending, and I love how there's three women stacked up and representing the trilogy of us, the triad. Releasing the past. We got that in the when we were together. Yeah. The energy is transforming, it's being transmuted. And I love how the light is above and below. So we're connecting. This is like that pillar of light that's coming forward for us. And the holy mountain. Both of these came through in our original reading. So the releasing of the past and the holy mountain, this is our soul calling, your sacred journey and pilgrimage. Let me see what we have from tarot. Seven of Cups. They're all hitting the floor. Okay. That was crazy. There's a lot to be said.
I know. I love it when they fly in.
Ah, they're just like, I am dropping to the floor. Let me grab these. Okay. Let's see what we have. Oh, yeah, the Page of Swords. So this is like stepping into new ideas, new thoughts, like really taking the platform for that, releasing any judgment of and I'm feeling like judgment of like self or the situation, but it's letting that go because as we step forward into new ideas, it's letting go of that expectation, right? And it's just being and flow with it. Yes, the resting, the Four of Swords of being able to just kick back and enjoy the journey versus being like work, 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 or being stuck in the headspace. The three of us, the Three of Cups, celebrating our journey right here, right now. And this one also came up, the reminiscing, right? It's staying heart-centered, staying connected with each other, and having that friendship that lasts beyond here, right? And let's see, I think that's it. Let me split the deck and see. Yeah, the Three of Wands. I love how we're getting these threes, like it's representing. So the Three of Wands is us each having our own vision of where we all want to be, and at the same time, yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, very good. Top of the deck. Yeah. Moving in abundance. Very good. How's that feel? Does that feel complete? Do you have any questions?
I love it. I love it. It does feel complete.
Yeah, it does. Like open heart, complete.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we came on, we began in ceremony, and with that we did a heart salutation and calling of the directions. And I would love this to invite Isabel to do a closing of the directions and a witnessing of us doing our final heart salutation with one another. So, Isabel, if you are comfortable with that, I'd love you to invite you to the closing of the directions for us.
Beautiful. And before we do that, I do just again want to take a moment to honor each of you, to honor you, Christine, to honor you, Chantel, to honor the space that we've created, the energy that we've shared, the memories that we have together over the last 6 years, to honor the community, to everyone who's listening and witnessing us and sharing space with us, and knowing that I'm not going away completely. I'll still be in the group. I'm sure that, like Chantel said, there'll probably be some future podcast appearances and shares, but I really do just want to honor the completion of this moment and the completion of what we've created and what we've experienced over the last 6 years, knowing that, like we started today's conversation with, we really are at that 9 stage. We really are at that space of completion and ending, and knowing that it's all happening in perfect divine timing, exactly as it was meant to, and that we're all about to step into, I know it's technically 0, but I want to say into our 10, like into our next evolution, our next expansion, our next step of what's coming next for the greatest and highest good of each one of us. And I really just want to honor where we've come from and hold that gratitude for where we are now and that excitement for where we're going next, and just holding that space as we close our ceremony and close our circle with so much love for each and every one of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful. So with that said, let's go ahead and close our eyes. We can sit back in our chairs. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears.
Before, do we want to put us on gallery while we do this part?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Good idea.
absolutely.
Beautiful. Unclenching your jaw, relaxing the muscles in your face, letting your hands relax, your chest relax, your belly relax. Taking a moment to feel in to yourself, no matter when or where this video is reaching you, and just feeling whatever feels complete in yourself. Feeling what's ready to come to a close, what's ready to open up space for something new to take its place. Feeling the alchemy that's happening here and now of anything that might be heavy, anything that's no longer serving, feeling it be honored, acknowledged, and transmuted into something new, something light, something with that spark of knowing remembrance and recognition of who we truly are. Feeling that gratitude and that love expand and fill the space as we thank our directions, knowing that as we're closing our directions, we'll go in the opposite order that we called them in. So we'll start with our spirits from below. We call to our power animals, mythical creatures, nature spirits, friends of the lower world, those who offer us protection and guidance, those who have stood with us, lent us their power, shown us the way through metaphor and symbolism. We thank you for the connections that you've made, for reminding us of who we truly are, reminding us of that essence, our ability to weave the realms, to dance between ether and matter, holding space for both humanity and spirituality, to dance within us, to dance with each other, feeling that connection to Mother Earth, feeling our roots sending down deep, knowing that this is the first space of connection for us, both now and moving forward, sending our roots down deep, deep into the earth, knowing that we are connected, that we are held, that we are supported. To the spirits from below, we thank you for your presence here. We thank you, we love you, we honor you. To the spirits from above, our spirit guides, guardian angels, loving ancestors, the ones who have kept us true to our soul's optimistic intentions for this experience, the ones who have kept us true to our movements, our actions, our words, our visions over the last many years, holding space for ourselves and space for what we were creating, holding us true to what Moon Rising was intended to be, and helping us to see with ease, clarity, and flow the transition that's coming next. We thank you for your wisdom, for your insight, for uplifting our energy. We thank you, we love you, we honor you. To the spirits of the north, the earth, provider and sustainer of all physical life, nourisher of all beings, to the trees, the standing ones, thank you for reminding us that we can remain grounded, sending our roots down deep while reaching our branches, our leaves, our hearts up towards the heavens, all while keeping us perfectly balanced here between, staying true to ourselves, staying true to each other, bending in the wind but never breaking, knowing that we received all of the nourishment we were meant to receive here in this time and in this space, knowing that we were supported every step of the way and will continue to be supported every step of the way. To the spirits of the north, we thank you, we love you, we honor you. And to the spirits of the west, to the water, keeper of mysteries unknown, thank you for washing away any cloudiness in our vision, in our hearts, and our energy, for washing away and soothing our wounds, soothing our questions, and reminding us what it means to trust and surrender. Surrender to the flow of life, surrender to the tide and the current, trusting that it's taking us exactly where we're meant to go, just as it brought us to this moment over the last 6 years, knowing that that water was guiding us through the experiences and energies that shaped each of us, made us who we are today, allowed us to hold the space that we have held, and that will continue to take us forward along that most aligned path for each and every one of us. We thank you for the courage and curiosity you have given us to stay true to our journeys, knowing that that support will continue as we move forward. To the spirits of the West, we thank you, we love you, we honor you. And to the spirits of the South, the fire with its passion and purpose, thank you for burning away all that no longer serves us, for allowing that spark within us to turn into a flame, to alchemize what was heavy, to alchemize the underbrush that was clouding our paths, clearing it away and allowing us to rise like a phoenix from the ashes, staying true to our power, staying connected with our purpose and our passion, staying true to that light and that fire within, knowing that that fire will never go out and that the flame we have kindled in each other will never go out either. Knowing that our flame is as much a part of ourselves as it is of each other, of this community, that our lights are constantly reflecting and growing, creating that network of light across the globe. To the spirits of the West, of the South, we thank you, we love you, we honor you. And to the spirits of the East, the wind with its whispers of wisdom, thank you for clearing away the cobwebs in our minds. Thank you for releasing us from our own preconceptions, expectations, and beliefs. Thank you for allowing us to become hollow bones, open vessels, ready to be filled with spirit, with insight, with inspiration, with hope, with the energy of a new beginning, of the sun as it crests over the mountain, shining its light on us and remembering that with every breath we start anew, start afresh, taking in that medicine, that promise of a new dawn, that promise of a new day, and all of the magic and joy that comes with it. To the spirits of the East, we thank you, we love you, we honor you. And lastly, to the spirit of our highest self, the one who reminds us of who we are when we release our own limitations and expectations, the one who has walked with us through this experience, allowing us to see with your eyes, to speak with your mouth, to hear with your ears, and to witness ourselves with your heart, to see the highest version of ourselves, of who we are meant to be, and to continue to have the bravery to step up, to step into that version of ourselves, knowing that you are here with us. As long as we allow ourselves to see you, to embrace you, to acknowledge you, the spirit of our highest self, we thank you, we love you, we honor you. And with the energy and intention of all seven directions now acknowledged and thanked, this sacred circle is coming to a close. Our time together is at an end. Knowing that this circle today does not just encompass this ceremony, but it encompasses the last 6 years of connection, of communion, of community that we've held together, of the space that we've shared, the energy that we've created. Knowing that by closing this circle, we do not close our connection, but we open up a space for us each to continue on our own paths, to continue to stay true to who we are, to explore new paths, new ways forward through the forest of our lives, knowing that we are all connected and can come together again at any moment, knowing that we take with us the gifts, the gratitude, the love, the joy, the experiences that these last years have brought us, and that all is happening for the greatest and highest good of all involved. And so, as we close this circle to each and every one of the directions, we thank you, we love you, we honor you, and we release you. We release this energy, we release this circle, we release this time together, knowing that it is creating space for something new, knowing that our sacred circle is complete and our time together is at an end. Sealing it all in with another big, deep breath in. And exhale, letting it go. Feeling those blessings, filling the space, filling our hearts, filling our energy, and lighting the way for all that's coming next, for the greatest and highest good of all involved. One more deep breath in and out. And so it is.
And
Blessed
so
be.
it is. Blessed be. And inviting us to do our final heart salutation together. We're going to take our prayer pose hands, point them to the earth. Inhale up to heart space. Exhale, bowing and looking at each other in the eyes. Inhale up. And exhale, bringing our prayer pose hands down to the earth. Blessed be you guys. Until next time, may you awaken to the whispers of wisdom rising from within. Thank you to all of our listeners for being a part of this. Thank you to Isabel, who has shown her light throughout the years on our benefits of our groups, our spaces, our communities. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We only wish you well. Blessed be.
Blessed be. Thank you all. Sending you all so much love and gratitude and light. Bye, everyone.
Bye.